Hello, everybody. This is Dr. B, your peace-loving connection from Cajun country here, living squarely between the lines, reminding you that you have 3 days. Yesterday, gone forever. Tomorrow, not promised to anyone. And today. Today is where we get the most utility from the decisions we make and the most satisfaction. So I hope you're living between the lines, and I hope that you're having a good day. Welcome. Google. Hey, Google. What's the temperature in Thibodaux, Louisiana?
In Thibodaux right now, it's 86 degrees. A hurricane local statement has been issued.
Well, yes, there's a hurricane bumping along the coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and even the panhandle of Florida. Sally, going about 2 miles an hour, slower than an average person can walk. So it's projected to put a lot of rain down in those communities. Let's pray for those people because it seems like it's going to be Harvey again in the making. Google, what is the temperature in Sydney, Australia? Hello, hey Google, what's the temperature in Sydney, Australia?
The current temperature in Sydney is 58 degrees.
Well, yes, and it's turning into their spring here pretty soon, and with a high today of 62. Uh, love keeping tabs on what's going on the other side of the world in the southern hemisphere, because it's just the opposite of what we're experiencing here, and it gives us a mindset to think about life in just a whole different part of the world. Hey Google, tell us a joke.
Why did the man name his dogs Rolex and Timex? Because they were watchdogs.
Practical joke. I like it. Uh, a little humor, in spite of the fact that we are in the Louisiana seems like it's going to dodge the bullet this time. Doesn't seem like we're going to get much effects from this Hurricane Sally, but the way the west coast of Africa has been spitting out storms this year, only God only knows what's ahead of us, because we still have a couple of months of hurricane season left, and we're rapidly running out of names. So I'm not sure what they do after they get down to W. I'm not sure. I think they go into the Greek alphabet. I have to look that up. At any rate, uh, that's what's going on weather-wise, and a good joke to just give us a little humor during all of this uh, up and down this roller coaster ride that we are experiencing as a result of the pandemic. Schools are in a they're on a seesaw. They're on a roller coaster. They're out, they're virtual, they're in person. The hurricane stops classes here in the southern part of the United States. I mean, these poor kids, to be a elementary student during the years of a pandemic, that's just got to be very unsettling. You just as the normality that we experienced as students just has not been given to these kids for the last couple of years. Even before the pandemic, just a lot of instability and a lot of changes in the educational model that's happening with respect to the virtual and distance learning model. Hope that you're drinking a lot of water. Remember, you got to keep your health, pray and meditate, live purposely, and listen to a whole lot less of the news on TV, because it's very negative. The spin is always to a negative. A negative. They always put a negative spin on it. Not always. I shouldn't say that, but many times. And if you're not careful, you will catch a lot of the negative news, and it'll start to weigh on your emotional and mental health. Um, that's what I want to talk about a little bit today, because the United States just invited Benjamin Netanyahu and representatives from the United Arab Emirates and also Bahrain to the White House to sign a peace treaty or a treaty to normalize trade and relationships between the countries. It's being spun as a peace treaty because that gets the most utility for the current administration. If we see that this administration is laboring to bring peace in that part of the world, you can only hope, and so to the degree that there is going to be peace and normalization of relations coming through this situation, well, that's good. There's even talk about President Trump being considered for peace, the Nobel Peace Prize. We'll have to see how that goes. But I hope that you are keeping your peace during the situation. The Prince of Peace, of course, is where we get our true peace from. And on a practical level, we have to endeavor to live in a peaceful state ourselves, which means, and this, I'm just reminding you, the last couple of days I have been driving out to various little settlements, and I'm not going to call them ghost towns, but I'm going to call them just reminders or from a bygone era that now sit for the most part abandoned. I'm talking about old plantation homes, even the downtown areas in some of the local communities surrounding cities just sit underutilized and almost as a testament to a bygone era. I've just been walking and videoing a few of these places, and I hope you've been watching those, because it just keeps us in a frame of mind to appreciate the fact that history seems volatile in a moment, but in 50 years or 100 years, it's all going to be artifacts. And you have to make sure that you stay relevant in terms of not becoming a statistic of political and social unrest. Keep your peace. Realize that this too shall pass. And to the extent that, we all are heading to the end of days as that begins to unfold, then that's a whole different matter. But don't let the media steal your peace, and don't let the busyness of life rob you of the peace that you can experience each day if you just take a little time to stop and reflect on the various things that are going on and try to learn from your mistakes and grow from your successes. And vice versa. Learn from your successes and grow from your mistakes. Either of those work. The point is to continue to change and become a better version of you. I am in the process of identifying a couple of places that I'm going to take my video camera and just sit in some places of relative peace and video, and just talk about those places and some of the history of them. A little urban exploration, if you will. So look forward to that coming up. Trying to think about as we head toward camping season, trying to get my mind wrapped around where I want to go camping this year and how I want to do that. Normally, I put a tent in my truck and I just head out and pitch a tent. Of course, as you get older, the comforts of home and the comforts are a little more important. So I got to think about that a little bit, and got to decide if I want to modify my truck, put a camper on the back of it, or an RV. I don't know. But I can tell my days of pitching the tent and doing primitive camping are starting to become fewer. The call to get out into the wilderness and these national forests intensifies. So again, hope that you are having a great day. Keep the people of South Alabama and Southern Mississippi in your prayers. Look like they're going to be in for quite a torrential event. This is Dr. B from Cajun Country, hoping that you're having a great day, and we'll catch you on the next video.